recent study by Deborah J. Diener into child sex abuse in the LDS Church uncovered disturbing trends. The PDF document is available in the description of this video. It details approximately 330 cases of child sex abuse in the LDS Church. This is a serious issue considering the profound damage done to these innocent children. This study only includes the cases from 1959 to 2017. That is about 6 cases a year, or about a case every 60 days for the past 58 years. Deborah explains, child abuse dramatically increases the risk of 7 out of 10 of the leading causes of death, decreases life expectancy by 20 years, and this damage is passed genetically generation after generation. The lifelong health effects of child sexual abuse include brain atrophy, suicide risk, girls 2 to 4 times the risk and boys 4 to 12 times the risk, psychological problems, anorexia, bulimia, PTSD, high-risk behaviors such as drug and alcohol abuse, promiscuity and exploitation. Teenage pregnancies are higher than the norm in child sexual abuse victims, COPD 2 to 5 times the risk, hepatitis 2 to 5 times the risk, depression 4 to 5 times the risk, lung cancer 33% higher risk, ischemic heart disease 3.5 times the risk, ADHD 2.5 times the risk, and self-harm. There is a substantial increase in delinquent acts, leading to more incarcerations by a victim versus the general population. There is a high association with child abuse resulting in homelessness. Child predators on average will abuse 175 children in their lifetime. Some have admitted to over 1,000 children. Researchers at Harvard have determined that there is no cure for pedophilia, therefore the focus should be on protecting our children. A child predator will abuse 50 to 75 children before he is caught, but only 3% of predators are apprehended. According to experts, 86% of child sexual abuse is never reported, and it is a worldwide epidemic with over 40 million survivors. In 1986, Marilyn Sandberg, the former director of the Weber County, Utah Task Force on Sexual Abuse, addressed LDS social workers at an Association of Mormon Counselors and Psychotherapists meeting and stated, quote, "Most of these abuse cases were referred to the legal system by individuals other than religious leaders, and yet in many of the cases the abuse had been brought to the attention of clergy members long before it was reported to the authorities." End quote. Marilyn also said, quote, "One particular incest case I worked with had been reported to 6 different bishops, and none of those bishops reported it to the authorities. The molestation continued for a period of 11 years. End quote. In 2013, a lawsuit was filed in Berkeley County, West Virginia. The suit alleges that the church and church leaders covered up the sexual abuse of 12 children occurring over a period of 5 years by Christopher Michael Jensen. The children were ages 3 and 4 at the time of the abuse. The suit states that the church was repeatedly put on notice or had knowledge about allegations that Jensen had sexually abused children of church families. Perpetrators of abuse target organizations where children are likely found. This includes the LDS Church and Boy Scouts. Members of the LDS Church can recognize that a sexual relationship between an adult in their 30s and a teenager is wrong, but they make excuses for Joseph Smith, who did just that. Joseph Smith married 9 teenage girls in polygamous marriages, including 14-year-old girls. This has set a precedent of child sex abuse and its cover-up since the beginning of the LDS Church. Joseph Smith publicly lied about being a polygamist and privately lied to his wives about it too. People who have to lie about having physical and/or sexual contact with kids are child sex predators. The LDS Church has tried to cover this information up to protect their reputation, but it has only increased their reputation for child sex abuse. If you have been a victim of child sex abuse, then you clearly are not alone. The predators want you to feel alone, but there are so many people who would be willing to help you. Most of all, Jesus can heal the spiritual wounds left by these evil people. We need to raise awareness with everyone to stop this from continuing.